Welcome everybody to the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. As tonight we're going to be taking on the Red Bull Ring in the Austrian Grand Prix. And yeah, I'll be your host, Be New COVID Stu, as you can tell by the sound of my voice, I'm sure. But without further ado, qualifying is about to start. And I'm going to apologize right now. I will not be talking a whole lot during this qualifying, just so I can try to save my voice for the main event here. But I will chime in and say some things here and there. So first off, I want to apologize to the fans that are watching, and then secondly to the league, because I try to go all out each time, and today is just not going to happen that way. But I will do my best for these guys, and like I said, it's going to be a rather quiet qualifying here on the mic, but I will chime in here and there to give a little bit of insight. But thanks to everybody who's tuning in. Please like the stream. Yeah, once again, going to be a little quiet qualifying because I'm down with the COVID, so trying to save that voice for the main event. Now, there'll be a lot of coughing. Well, not coughing, but throat clearing and stuff this evening on the mic, and I, fully apologize for that. But nonetheless, I want to give these guys the broadcast that this league deserves, and I practiced with them there last night. I found out how bad I was at this game. I ran like a 108 lap time. That is like 4 seconds slower than what I was seeing. So these guys know what they're doing out here. And as qualifying starts to get underway, everybody's just chilling out right now. As they got to, get warmed up, burn off some fuel. A lot of time here. You won't see those fast laps till towards the end once the track's not so green. But we'll just flip through the field as these guys get up on their warm-up laps and fuel burning laps and stuff. And yeah, just make sure you like the stream and all that. Thanks, everybody. This is F1 eRacingProSeries action from the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. Qualifying going down right now. 16 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. And then we'll get down to main event action. Alright everybody, I want to use this moment as P. Gonzalez takes off on his first flying lap. We'll just do a little bit of course details here. This is turn number 1 that he's coming up into. There's a hard right. This is known as Sector 1 from the line all the way up through here. Sector 2 begins about here as he turns up. That's turn 2 there. This is considered turn 3. As he goes up through here, this is Sector 2 that will go down into turn number 4, 5, and 6. He will come through this turn up to turn 7 and begin Sector 3 right there. And he will continue Sector 3 up to 7, 8, and he is coming up on turn number 9 right here, and turn 10 ahead that will complete the course. And that was Gonzalez's first flying lap. As he comes to the line, we'll see what he got. A 1:05.467. Thank you, P. Gonzalez, for your on board and all that. Yeah, that is the Red Bull Ring, under the F1 name of the Austrian Grand Prix. Right, so put the fastest laps up there. We got 12 minutes left in our qualifying, and Gonzalez going into the pits. DB back out on a hot lap here. He does have the fastest time so far, as you know. As I said, later on in the run, the better the times will get. So this time may or may not stand. Most likely won't, I would imagine. He himself will probably run a better lap than that. Give me 1 second. I will turn off my notifications so we don't get those black boxes. Alright, awesome. Got that fixed. Sorry about that. Okay, DB is out here running his lap. Fried Cheeto in the AlphaTauri. Oh, and I also had something to fix. I was pronouncing, this car with an H in the name, and I apologize. It is Aston Martin. And I was saying Ashton Martin, so it is Aston Martin, and I apologize for that. Same thing with the Alpine, obvious Alpine spelling. Oh, and I also was messing up this. It's Alfa Romeo. I was saying Alfa Romero. Once again, we learn as we go. Alfa Romeo. I've got you. Also have your Aston Martin and your Alpine. Now Ferrari, I'm not rolling my R's enough maybe. AlphaTauri is around here in Sector 2. And that's going to be unfortunate. Here with Johnny Golf on the outlap, getting ready to come up into turns 9 and 10 to go on his flyer. We will stay on board with him during his flying lap this time by, as I will go off the mic. Thanks to everybody who's watching. Please make sure to like the stream if you're just tuning in. I'm a little bit under the weather. Alpine, that's right. Hey, Ram, yeah, season 3 of Ruthless is coming up. That is true. Once again, though, B New Stu here under the weather. We're going to go off the mic just for a bit. Try to reserve that voice like some of these guys will be that DRS and ERS later. Alright, so as expected, the laps are getting faster. DB outdoes his own lap, and then Ultimate Beast comes by and snags it right after. So still another go for these guys. Oh, we got another one around slow. So, and the Haas machine is around here in Sector 2. A lot of guys going back to the pits, getting ready for that next go. We got Flynn here. He had a really good race last week. Ultimate Beast was your winner last week. And it's interesting to see if old Cynical has a win 2 weeks ago. If he can maybe get back up there to the podium. Just missed it last week by the wing of the car. I mean, it was by inches at the line. He missed the podium. So I'm sure he's back on some redemption this week. Once again, thanks to everybody who is watching right now. DB back on the outlap. We'll keep the camera on him. We'll see what he does this time around once he gets up to flying. Once again, a little bit of mic. I'm going to go off the mic again for a second. But always appreciate you guys for supporting us here at Ruthless Racing. If you're new here, appreciate you. Just hit the subscribe button. And anybody who is subscribed, been here before, like the stream. Thank you all so much. We'll be back in just a moment. And enjoy DB's flying lap here in a second. We'll hop on with Ghost MV and the Alpine Machine. Teammate to Cynical. And he is going to be on a flyer right now. He's going to be on board with him. Everybody's tuning back in here real quick. Into qualifying is coming up. DD is done, retired from the session. He will take his 104.584, which is currently sitting second. And you can see here, Cynical is, working up for a hot one. Let's see what he's doing here. He don't know if he got fully back in the throttle when he should have there. I don't know if that light is on his screen or not, but that scared the hell out of me. Just all of a sudden there was a car there. But nonetheless, he is on his flying lap. We'll stay on with him. Ultimate Beast also retiring from the session will be a 104.058 for him. So Cynical, I think the only one out here that might still have a shot at beating the pole time. As we'll stay right on board with him here. We'll see if that's what happens. And that right there will do it 10 times out of 10. That was the most unfortunate thing I had ever seen. Wow. The Alpine has got front tires on one side. Both front tires were on one side. That was insane. I'm telling you, it's like that was the perfect wedge, and he just plowed it. Man, so unfortunate there. But that will, I believe, end qualifying. And that will sit as it is. Everyone is finished. So we'll just sit around and wait for the main event to happen. Thanks to everybody who's watching. I'm just going to try to preserve the voice a little bit for the main event, which is the Austrian Grand Prix from the Red Bull Ring. All right, everybody, we're getting ready to start our main event here. Just waiting for, the game to agree. Everybody's out there in their starting grid and ready to go. So we're just waiting for those 5 red lights to disappear, and then we will go racing. I think that's 5. Here we go. 5th light's lit. They're gone, and we're off. This is the eRacingProSeries from the Austrian Grand Prix, and it's a huge wreck already just to begin it. And the Haas machine and a Red Bull machine terminally damaged on the start. Safety car is out, and that is one way to end your day, is at the beginning. And that will be Tilwick in the Haas machine and P. Gonzalez in the Red Bull. Those 2 cars are going to be terminally damaged right here at the beginning. And the safety car is out before we even get going. Alright, so we will watch the formation. You can see Ultimate Beast was your pole sitter, DB the best second, and Cynical third. Cynical with that very unfortunate event in Sector 2, Sector 3 transition area there in qualifying. So safety cars out. We'll just kind of keep up with the pacing of the cars here. And more time for me to save my voice. Okay, I'm guessing the update they put in this full track map. I didn't notice that before. I could be wrong, but this is awesome. All right, looking at a one-stop kind of look with the medium to hard, and then there's a three-stop there with a hard, medium, hard. I don't know why you would want to do that though. Real cool look there. I like that full track map. It gives everybody a nice idea that's watching what it's like. We will be going green this lap. Safety car is taking off to go back in. So this will be a single file restart, and this will, you know, allow everybody to get those temps up on their tires before we get to really going, you know. But unfortunately, Tilwick and Gonzalez out before it even starts. I don't even think they made it to the line. Kind of like Kimi Räikkönen that one time whenever he just catapulted himself off the rear tire of that stalled out car on the start. But all right, we're coming down to turns 9 and 10, and the safety car is in, and here we go. We are back green here from the Austrian Grand Prix on lap number 3. And there it is. This is the battle up front between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. DB Alpine right there. Also the Haas machine of Slow So. And then Flynn there in 5th with the good showing last week. Trying to get this off of there, get us a little more screen to look at. Really enjoy that track map down there though. I think the speed trap is right there. I'm pretty sure that's where the speed trap is, and the DRS zone is through there. There's a couple of DRS zones through here. I think we see if someone had a good sector there, it'll line it up for us. Alright, cool deal. Well, the margin between the front two is, there's no room for mistake. Oh, to the inside goes DB. He's going to try to overtake as they come up through the DRS zone in the front straight here. And he is going to overtake the lead from the Mercedes of Ultimate Beast. I do believe we're looking at another area here that could be used to pass, overtake somebody. Very hard right-hand turn here. I mean, a hairpin for the ages. It is a very hard turn to make. Good battle here between 3rd and 4th as well, but Sloso has overtaken Cynical. Ty Kangas has also overtaken Flynn back here for 5th position. Lots of battles all around the track today. Not much spacing, maybe with everybody getting their tires warmed up under the safety car on lap 1. It's allowed for a little more competitive racing early on here in these runs. I imagine that we're going to see, barring the safety cars of course, but we're only going to see like maybe one stop out of most of these guys today. As DB sets the lap of the race so far. Now DRS is enabled. That is my apologies. He could have used overtake maybe on his pass, or he just had raw power. Who knows? I forgot about the safety car, then the 3 laps after that. You know, I'm learning though. Thanks to everybody who's watching. Remember, just hit that like button. This is your eRacingProSeries F1 action from the Austrian Grand Prix right here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. DB the Best is your leader right here as he comes back down into turns 9 and 10 to come back around to the home stretch to take on lap number 6. Ultimate Beast kind of off the pace a little bit there from DB, as he was passed by DB, you know, and DB was running quite close to him before the pass as well. Sloso overtook Cynical early on, and they've been running like this for a good minute. Cynical goes to the inside, if you want, to the right of him there in that hairpin for the ages, as I was mentioning earlier. And he overtook him quite nicely through there as they start up here into Sector 2. Ty Kangas, he overtook Flynn early on and has put quite the gap on him. Now Flynn is under pressure from the Alpine of Ghost MV as they get going here. They're working their way through Sector 2 up into the Sector 3 transition zone. And Ghost had lost a little bit there off of Flynn and his Aston Martin machine. 10-man in the McLaren. He has got the AlphaTauri front line right there to the inside of him, as he's going to overtake him coming down the front stretch up into turn number 1. So big moves being made as we get going around through here this evening. All the back of the pack really close here. You see we're on with Fried Cheeto and his AlphaTauri machine. Oh, big 3-wide action here coming up into the hairpin. That is going to force the, I'm not sure whose car that was. That forced one of them all the way to the outside, and that was some racing right there. Oh, we still got it going on. These guys are all over each other. All right, so the Ferrari is going to survive most of that. 10-man, I think, might have been the bigger winner. I'm not sure if he was a part of that mess or not. But the Alfa Romeo machine was kind of back there. Zach, oh, that was who that was in the Aston Martin. Zach N there got pushed off in all that action. All right, so DB still your leader, and I think Ultimate Beast has caught up a little bit there. He is on the medium tire compared to DB on the soft. DB does like to run that softer compound, he says, and that tire is harder to control once you get it a little more worn. Practicing with these guys last night, definitely got a feel for the game. You know, I hadn't really played it like that yet. I was just doing like little events and stuff on here. But yeah, these cars, it's going to be interesting once he gets those tires up into the 20% worn area. We'll see kind of how it looks for Ultimate Beast then. I imagine that DB will, if the safety cars stay at bay today, I think that he might run that medium for a good bit. Maybe go with the harder compound, I'm not sure. Virtual safety car is out. So that's going to mean everybody needs to slow down virtually. And I'm not quite sure if Frachito is into the pit. This could be a damage here on this. Somebody messed up. There we go. So I'm not quite sure what this virtual safety car is about here. Not sure where the issue is, where it lies. All right, so virtual safety car is gone, and this will put the field right back to green. And you can see they wasted no time. DRS is enabled, as I saw. And, you know, he's going to break that slipstream there coming up the front stretch, rightfully so, coming up into turn number 1. Lap 10 here of 36 now from the Austrian Grand Prix. The Red Bull Ring, it's a very good track. And there it is, overtake there by Ultimate Beast. in that DRS zone. Coming up the hill there into the hard turn number 2. Or turn number 3, I'm sorry. Technically. Checking out that halo must be a trip. You can see DB, that softer compound tire, probably just getting a little bit worn here now. And, you know, after getting overtaken there in Sector 1, you imagine, yep, there it is. I was going to say, imagine he would go to the pits, and here we are. So, there you go. There's DB into the pit, lap 11. And we'll get back on board with him in a minute, as we'll check some the gap from the leader at the moment. It is over 4 seconds to position 2 right now. All right, so right now, Ultimate Beast on the medium compound tire. You know, I imagine he's going to run this quite a few more laps, maybe. Probably 5-6 more laps even. I think it was a medium hard compound go with this, so only the one real safety car, then the virtual safety car came out for not that long, and then they were right back to green. We'll jump back through the field here, see if we can catch any battles happening. At the moment, not really seeing. Right here's a little bit of a battle brewing up. AlphaTauri chasing down the Ferrari, with the McLaren also in tow. So that's 6, 7, 8 here. A little bit of loose there for the AlphaTauri. As you see that red flashing light on the Ferrari. He's used it. And then now up on the AlphaTauri. And this, oh, we got one off up ahead here. There he is. That will be the Aston Martin of Flynn. He got off track there. Not so good so far for Flynn. This battle for... Oh, Cheeto's going to get him a penalty. That will be assessed at the end. And this battle here for 5th, or heating up to 5th. Johnny Goff in the Ferrari trying to chase down the AlphaTauri front line, who has overtaken 5th position. McLaren a little loose coming out of the S's there. All right, so let's get back up here with DB for a second, and he is on that hard tire, as I thought he may do. This tire could make it to the end, maybe. I'd imagine it could be close. You see a safety car or something, though, everything changes. You can see we got a lot of people out there on the hards, just trying to make that as least amount of stops as possible, but those hards do have the least amount of grip. DB making quick work here with the fresher tire. As he gets back up into the top 10 quite quickly. The gap to the leader is getting almost to 5 seconds. It is now over 5 seconds and climbing. And Ultimate Beast, he is doing quite the job trying to make it back to back. He had a penalty a couple weeks ago, and that possibly could have been a win for him as well. But the penalty ruined that night, but he comes back with redemption last week, sweeping everything from qualifying to the sprint at Spa. And now him and DB fought a little bit here at the beginning, but DB going in for his pit stop already. This leaves Ultimate Beast out to 4.8 second lead now. So the lead had been cut back down here by the Alpine of Cynical. Mercedes looking real good today so far, as they have 2 of their cars up into the top 5. That'll be Ty Kangas in 4th, and your leader, Ultimate Beast. Ultimate will now be coming. No, we're just a little weird there. I like that line. So as I imagined, I said probably about 2 to 3 laps we'll see maybe a pit from Ultimate Beast. And that is just a pure guess for me. But we will actually take a look here at the stops for everybody. DB, Fried Cheeto, Ghost, Westy, and Frontline all made stops. Right now, everybody but DB in the top 10 have 14 laps on their tires. So these guys will be looking to pit. And that is good for DB, as he is already back up to 6th position after the pit. And that's only 4 laps on those hard tires, and only 2 penalties, or 2 drivers with penalties here so far. Position changes, not counting DB with the pit stop, but most everybody is looking good. Fried Cheeto and Flynn and Frontline all having the worst of the days so far. And DB is back on the up from his pit stop, as you can see here. And Cynical is now your leader, so Ultimate Beast had pit, and he went in and got his hard tire. So DB going to have to run that a little longer than Ultimate Beast will. And all right, so we'll get back to looking. Cynical, he is going to have to pit at some point here. So there's another driver with a penalty. It will go to Westy this time. So now up to 3 drivers with penalties, 4 drivers with penalties. Ultimate Beast is going to get a penalty, and that will be assessed at the end. That is so unfortunate, as maybe once again a good chance at a win could come down to a penalty. But it's not all over. If he gets up here and he, has a lead to overcome the penalty, he could still win this race. But if he was to start finishing first and the gap not be that large, it could spell disaster. DB is back up into the position to take the lead off Ty Kangas whenever he pits. They could possibly take the lead from the Mercedes before he even gets to pit. Oh, he's going to be real slow off of that corner. Oh, that's going to make the Red Bull and the Mercedes kind of bump on each other a little bit, but Ty Kangas is overtaken by both the Mercedes. Red Bull, Mercedes in for Ultimate Beast, and he will take the lead, but a quick switchback move cut off quite quickly by the Mercedes. The Red Bull machine of DB is in tow quite quickly, but those fresher tires on the Mercedes is going to be reigning supreme right now, and it is a penalty there for the Ultimate Beast. But like I said, if he can overcome the penalty by putting separation between him and the cars behind him, it won't matter. All right, a little exciting there for lap 17. The Ultimate Beast will now set your fastest lap of the evening. Get back here, try to find us a little bit of a battle. There we go. Flynn and Cynical are going to be going at it here. Well, not really. Cynical is going to go around, coming up through Sector 1. And down into turn number 3. Alright, so a lot of these guys, let's see if we Still got some guys who have not made their stops yet. That is Flynn and Zach in the Aston Martins. Further up into the field, Johnny Goff in the Ferrari and Tin Man the Rowdy in the McLaren have not pit. So those 4 drivers will eventually have to do so. Let's get up on board with them here, see what they're running with first. So Zach started with the hard. Flynn's going to started with the hard. These guys also, so Johnny Goff on the medium. That is interesting. So everybody besides Johnny Goff in the Ferrari is running the hard compound. That has not pit yet. So that means these guys, I think they will have to pit, but they could maybe go for a soft at the end, towards the end of this, unlike some of these guys. Maybe a medium could be interesting nonetheless. And you can look, that position change for Johnny and Tin Man is 6 and 8. So this strategy working quite well if they can get a really good clean stop here, possibly get out of the pits after hitting the box. Maybe within, 19, 20 seconds, get back out here up to speed. I think that would be beneficial, most certainly. See Cynical, he had pit, and he is down 2 from earlier, or from where he started. As you can see, he is right there on that McLaren. And that medium tire of the Ferrari has went into pit. Also, the Aston Martin of Zach is going into pit. Looking at Flynn, he is going to remain on track, so he will now be the only car that... Oh, and Tin Man in the McLaren. Okay. These 2 drivers have not had a stop yet. DB, the first to stop. He started off on the soft tire. We will go back up here to the front. You can see the gap. We'll get a look at that. It's just 7/10. So DRS is able to be used and all that stuff as long as he's within a second and in the zone. That penalty, though, is 8 seconds on Ultimate Beast. That is very unfortunate. That is actually going to be very, very difficult to overcome. And he is going to have to just straight up bet on DB maybe having to go get tires to make this, work out. DB at this moment, he is, I imagine, totally okay with running right where he is. I mean, he would obviously want to cross the line as numero uno, but that may not happen, and nonetheless, as long as he keeps that gap under 8 seconds, that's all that matters. Oh no, Westy has exited. I'm not sure what that was about. Oh, that is terminal damage back there. Safety car is out, and that's what it was. Westy had terminally smashed the wall over there, and that will bring out the safety car. And just like that, this could change everybody's strategy. If they have them like this, these guys go in and get them some medium tires, I imagine, is what we're going to be looking at here. Looking at the pit stops. DB is going to be out well before Ultimate Beast. Not sure what happened to him there. What we were looking at, medium tires, though, for both drivers. Alright, so Cynical is in, and he has put on some softs. Alright, that is interesting. Slow So in with the hard compound, going with mediums. Kangas goes with the mediums. Tin Man had just pit, and he is on the medium, so he is going to go start gaining some spots now. There he goes. All right, so the safety car is out here during the Austrian Grand Prix. The Ferrari of Westy terminally damaged, and that is why we are under the safety car. Full course caution. And yeah, we're going to take a quick break here on the mic, but this is your eRacing Pro Series F1 action presented by Ruthless Racing, right here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. As always, thanks to everybody who watches. Make sure you like that stream, subscribe if you're new. There's all kinds of things here. Ruthless Racing does not just do F1, but we also do NASCAR, and we mess around with Gran Turismo 7, which I guess you can maybe throw under the category of like IMSA or something. Nonetheless, we'll be right back. Safety car on lap 22 underway. Alright, safety car going in this lap. DB will be our leader, and he will lead us to the green. Safety car plows ahead to get into the pits. And these guys creak their way up through Sector 3 up to turns 9 and 10 as they get up to the front stretch. DB, though, will be firing off first, Ultimate Beast second, but with the 8-second penalty. He can still fight just to get any spot that he can. You know, the seconds tick down to where he sets in the final. But here we go. Coming down to turn 10 out of that, and here we go. Green once again from the Austrian Grand Prix, and a good looking little draft break there between all these guys. All right, man. Anyways, so that's how we are looking right now. Let's flip back and do the field here. See how close these battles are. I mean, not so much. Ultimate Beast still fighting. He wants every second that he can between him and whoever. DB though looking real good. He pit first. And then went and took the mediums off the safety car there. And I imagine everybody is going to be just swell to the end here. We got 12 to go. You can see, though, Ultimate Beast is very close. And Cynical, you know, running the soft compound right now. I imagine that he would not want to have to pit again. So it's going to be interesting to see how he controls this car on the softer compound for, you know, upwards of 14, 15 laps here. Johnny Goff, though, is going to go look at the position changes. He and 10-Man Rowdy up 5 and 7 positions on the day. Absolutely awesome. Frontline, Cheeto, and Flynn, all three have continued to struggle. And there's the Alpine machine running that 106, whatever it was, fastest lap of the race. We'll look at the fastest laps for everybody thus far. And the top three, look at how close those guys are. Everybody, the top four have all ran 106 lap times, and everybody in fifth down has ran a nowhere near a 106. The nearest 107 is a .462. So great pace out of the top of this field. And Johnny himself is over 3/10 away from the slowest of the top three. So a lot of pace to be found there for him as well. Cynical just running that fast lap just last lap. He is on that softer compound. You can see he is up here going to be making this a battle between three cars, even though that Ultimate Beast will have that 8-second penalty attached to him. You can see they're right here, all half a second within one another. And, you know, although the penalty is there, you know, things that Ultimate Beast could do are still very physical, like that move right there. That is very physical to the element of this race, is him being there and still fighting to put every second he can between him and every competitor out here. He needs, you know, he needs 8 seconds from third, you know, from fourth to remain third. So, yeah, it's interesting how he's going to have to go about this here. You see that is very tight up here amongst these guys. Ultimate Beast reclaims the fastest lap time with a 106.1 something. Very nice. Alright, so here you can see this is quite the battle as the Alpine goes to the inside of the Mercedes. He will not have it clear. The Mercedes is taking back over the lead. Back to the outside, to the left side is the Alpine of Cynical. And inside advantage to the Mercedes for now. Outside looking really good for the Alpine. Is not going to happen as the Mercedes is going to remain in the lead for now. What a battle there for quite a few turns. This DV is just sitting there trying to soak it all in, I think. Like, what the hell just happened in front of me? Alright, so Cynical tried to take the lead, but did not quite work out. Oh, and he's getting all over the place now. That tire is gonna go, I think, eventually. That Red Bull of DB is right there on the hind end of the Alpine. And they know that guy ahead of them, they're really racing each other. If they just keep him in, you know, in this distance, you know, keep him close, DB knows it's a battle between him and the Alpine of Cynical. Once again, he's going to try it to the outside. Same area as last time. A little more off track that time. Mercedes reigns supreme again, but right back into it comes the Alpine machine. We are tire to tire coming down through these very tight winding turns in Sector 2. Transitions over into Sector 3, and the Alpine is around, and that's going to be a caution. He's going to try to get it back on track here. No safety car. Unfortunate for Cynical. He was giving it everything he had, and I knew that tire couldn't have had much more in it. DB now for the attack in the Red Bull machine. Tire to tire with the Mercedes through turn number 1, and he is going to overtake that Mercedes machine and take the lead up the hill here, going up into turn number 2 now, and into turn number 3 He's going to think about it in that Mercedes. He is going to make it just that tight. Their tires are going to get hooked. Look at this battle between him and the Red Bull machine. Man, what a battle here between that Mercedes and the Red Bull. And it's not over. There is 7 laps remaining here in this one. And really, DB is in position to win. It is the gap for Ultimate Beast is what he is worried about. As of right now, Ultimate Beast with his penalty, he could finish 3rd. So this is very important for him to keep this pace. And if I'm him, I think you allow the Red Bull to overtake you and you just hang out. Because if he's there, you lose to him anyways. But no, he says, I need it. This is quite the battle. A little bit of tire rub there maybe as the Mercedes is back out to the outside of Ultimate Beast. Oh, crossover coming down into this Sector 2. And we are tire to tire between these guys. All right, so interesting enough. I imagine if I was Ultimate Beast, I would have just hung out. But no, not going to happen. DB back to the inside again. This is all back and forth the whole time. Look here, once again, back to the inside is the Mercedes. And overtaken again. So many lead changes here just in the last 3 laps. And we are down to 5 to go here. Now, I'm interested in how this one's going to end up at the end. I know the penalty, is sitting there for Ultimate Beast, but these guys have been racing like, like he's going to win it no matter what. I guess, you could get ahead of DB, spins out or something, no safety car, and, you could be first place by a lot. But, DB's been very consistent this evening, and I just believe, it would just be in the best interest just to hang out and make sure you still at least get 3rd with the 8-second penalty. I mean, we'll go back and look at the gap from the leader with the 8-second penalty as it sits. Ultimate Beast only loses don't even lose a spot. I mean, he would move to 3rd. 10-man is over 9.8 seconds away. So, yeah, he would finish 3rd. I mean, even wouldn't lose a spot as long as that 3rd position here is over 8 seconds. He will not drop a position. As we'll make sure he hasn't earned any more penalties, actually. Ultimate Beast is down to a 3-second penalty. Now, I could have just saw that wrong. Like I said, I do have COVID. So, but 3-second penalty here. I could have said 8-second earlier maybe or something. Or he could have served that on a pit. I'm not sure exactly. No one explained that fully to me. But, maybe he earned that one again. It could have been a little glitch. I could have saw it wrong. Anything could have happened, folks. I'm not perfect, okay? Nonetheless, most of the field 11 to 13 laps on their tires. Everyone has chosen mediums except for Frontline, who's running 5th on the hard compound. Cynical went around earlier battling for the lead. He went back in and got softs again. Johnny Goff has also got soft tires on. Cynical, I don't believe, is down a lap. As we see the gap, no. So nobody is off the pace a lap yet. Very close back there for Fried Cheeto, though. DB is your leader by 3/10. As we come down to 2 to go here in the Austrian Grand Prix. DB in your Red Bull machine, he has been aching for a victory. Let's see if he's able to get it done. It's going to be 2 more flawless laps to make that happen. A 3-second penalty for Ultimate Beast behind him is going to be, unless he ends up taking the lead, that is not going to hurt him at all, as the gap between him and third is over 9 seconds. That's also barring any penalties earned here for the last lap and a half. As you see, the Mercedes, not so great of a turn there coming through parts of Sector 2. DB opening up this lead a little bit as he comes down to the back half of the track. And looking at turns 9 and 10 for the last 2 times. Here we go. It is your F1 eRacing Pro Series, the last lap from the Austrian Grand Prix. Your leader is DB the Best in the Red Bull machine. Hard in tow is the Mercedes with the 3-second penalty. These two are all alone up ahead of the field. Over 9 seconds is the gap back to the Haas machine of Slow So. Overtaken. There goes the Mercedes. And he has to make this gap 3 seconds. DB can't make any mistakes. So let's see how this one's going to turn out. 36 of 36. And going into the second sector, the Red Bull is hot on the heels here of the Mercedes. Can he make that pass down here towards the end of this course? Here we go, coming back down to the last few turns. Turn number 7 and 8, down to the stretch. A little bit of an overtake here, possible. Coming down to the last 2 turns. Turn number 9, and coming up on turn number 10, a little bit out of the Mercedes there, not so good. He's going to be invisible, I guess, due to the penalty, and this is going to allow DB the Best to be the winner from the Austrian Grand Prix. Third is coming around for Slow So. He will be on the podium, and it is a battle back here for 4th. Can 10-man round in the McLaren get it done? Yes, he can. Front line in 5th. Flynn coming in 6th. Big turnaround there for Flynn after being back there. Ty Kangas finishing 7th. Zach up into 8th. Ghost MV also with a penalty finishing 9th. Cynical with no penalty looking at 10th right now. Possibly could change. Don't know how far the gap is there. Johnny Golf and Fried Cheeto both in 11th, 12th, both with penalties. But nonetheless, this podium will be DB the Best in the Red Bull machine, the Mercedes of Ultimate Beast, and Slow So in the Haas machine. Those will be your top 3. So we're getting the drivers in here for driver interviews. Very good race here from the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. Just give me a brief moment to catch my breath, and we will get driver interviews underway.
Stu, we might not be having 3rd place join because he said he's got to head into work.
Okay, cool.
So I don't know if he's going to be able to do an interview.
Okay. Well, I'll give him after this podium celebration. And if he doesn't decide he wants to, that's fine. Alright, y'all can see it there. First belongs DB, Ultimate Beast Slow So, 10-man Rowdy in 4th, and Frontline in 5th. Red Bull, Mercedes, Haas, McLaren, AlphaTauri respectively in that order. And fastest lap of the day will belong to Ultimate Beast with a 106.163. So or I'm sorry, actually I'm very wrong on that. That was Cynical took over almost with a near 106 flat. It was a .001. Didn't see that down there. All right. Nonetheless, I think third place will not be here, but for the Haas machine and Slow So, congratulations on your third place finish. But second will belong to Ultimate Beast. You had that 3-second penalty, but no harm, no foul. Still fought very hard with DB there. Nearly every lap there, it seemed like for the last 7, 8 laps. What was kind of going through your mind, having that penalty on over your head, racing against DB there? Did the thought of just hanging out behind him ever come across your mind?
Um, well, I had a 5 second penny in the pit lane, speed in the pit lane. I was like, yeah, that's that P1 gone. And then I got a 3 second penny because I was trying to get out DRS range from DB, I think it was. And then luckily there was another safety car, so I boxed to get rid of that 5 seconds, but I still had 3 seconds. But yeah, I knew that I was probably unlikely to get out of the 3 second window, so I was just chilling behind him really. Well, fighting, kind of fighting.
Yeah, so you guys were really battling there. Like you said, it probably would have been real hard to get away from the 3 second window, but as you guys battled back and forth, how'd you feel like the cars handled side by side like that? It was something that was new here on the stream, a lot of side by side racing. So what was that like?
I know DB's pretty decent and clean, so I don't mind going side by tricky corners. um, but yeah, it was all good.
Hey, well, good finish there for you today on the podium once again after your win last week, or your sweep last week, sprint and all. So,
Mhm.
congratulations on another good week here, maybe putting together a good string.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, and your winner, DB, been talking about this for a hot minute, and finally it comes here at the Red Bull Ring, and what better to have a Red Bull win? Just take us through that race. You started with the softs, got the hards, and the safety car came out, kind of saved everybody's strategies. Just kind of walk us through what that was like, and battling with Beast there.
Well, honestly, coming into the race, I felt like I probably had the third best car because I knew Beast and Cynical had been a little faster than me in practice. I had been trying to get my car a little better and figure out the first and third turn, which is where I was losing a lot of time. And I think I figured out turn 3 somewhere in the middle of the race because when I pitted and took hard tires, I got stuck in a line of cars. And I passed like 5 people in like 4 or 5 laps, and I passed them all pretty much in that same turn that I'm horrible at. So um, I was probably being a little aggressive, so I don't know if I made anybody mad because this track is very tight in the turns. It's not the greatest place to make passes, and I definitely went into a couple turns that were questionable probably, but I think I stayed off of everybody for the most part, and it turned out in my favor. Luckily, I was just trying to stay within the 3 seconds of Beast, and then we just ended up going back and forth, and it was a lot of fun. It probably would have been 3 of us if him and Cynical didn't make the contact, but it's just really hard to not touch each other, and as soon as you do, somebody's going around.
Yeah, back with the incident with Cynical, he was on that softer tire, and they were a little worn. They might have been pushing a little hard there, but yeah, sometimes that's what happens in racing. And like you said, fortunately, this worked out in your favor. Didn't have to stay within the 3 second window. You're just able to get it the old-fashioned way. So congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and you got anything you want to say on behalf of your league or anything?
Well, hopefully F1 can fix whatever was going on. I don't know if you could see it from your end, but they did an update today, and it made things a little laggy at the beginning of the race and at other parts in the middle of the race when you're getting close to cars. So um, I'm just hoping that the lobbies are a little smoother next week. But I'm looking forward to Mexico. That's where we're heading next week, and hopefully we can have another exciting battle up front.
There you have it. Next week, Mexico. So make sure you tune in next Monday, and don't forget the Ruthless Racing Series. Both of them will start back here in a couple weeks. I know some people were asking about that earlier, but yeah. So tune in here to the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. Everything's going real good right now, and you don't want to miss any of it. So this is for the F1 eRacing Pro Series from the Austrian Grand Prix. Congratulations to DB on the win, Ultimate Beast on second, and Slow So for getting third. That'll be all from me, Binu COVID Stew. Have a good evening.